How does the 49er wide receiver room stack up with the rest of the NFC West? Find out right now on the 49er News 24 show. Yeah, news channel, subscribe. Let's go right into it. This is a new mini-series. I am starting seeing how the San Francisco 49er position rooms stack up with the rest of the NFC West. Today we are doing wide receivers. We are picking the top 3 wide receivers from each NFC West team. The 49ers top 3 is going to be wide receiver 1, Brandon Aiyuk, Deebo Samuel, wide receiver 2, and then Jauan Jennings, wide receiver 3. The LA Rams top 3 is going to be Cooper Kupp, wide receiver 1. Wide receiver 2 is Puka Nacua. Wide receiver 3 is Demarcus Robinson. For the Arizona Cardinals, the top 3 will be Ricky Marvin Harrison Jr. Number 2 is going to be Michael Wilson and Zay Jones. For the Seattle Seahawks, top 3 wide receiver 1 will be DK Metcalf. Wide receiver 2 will be Jackson Smith-Njigba. And wide receiver 3 will be Tyler Lockett. Let's start off with each team wide receiver 3s. For the Seahawks, it's Tyler Lockett. For the Niners, it's Jauan Jennings. For the Arizona Cardinals, it's Zay Jones, and for the LA Rams, it's Demarcus Robinson. We're going to stack their stats and who I believe will be better going into this next year. I think it's Jauan Jennings. Demarcus Robinson is a sneaky one for the LA Rams. I also think Tyler Lockett, even though he's getting old up there in age, he is still a very reliable wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks and Geno Smith. But I think Jauan Jennings has it in this category. I would put it Jauan Jennings number 1, Zay Jones 2, Tyler Lockett 3, and then Demarcus Robinson at number 4 for the wide receiver 3s for the NFC West. So the 49ers have a better wide receiver 3 than the other 3 NFC West teams. I believe that is correct. Jauan Jennings, just the way he bought out in the Super Bowl, knowing he has that dog in him in that Super Bowl where he could have won Super Bowl MVP, he is for sure, by far, in my opinion, the best wide receiver 3 out of all of the teams that I just listed off in the NFC West. Next will be the wide receiver 2 for the San Francisco 49ers. It is Deebo Samuel Sr. For the LA Rams, it is Puka Nacua. For the Arizona Cardinals, it is Michael Wilson. And then for the Seattle Seahawks, it is Jackson Smith-Njigba. Deebo Samuel compared to Jackson Smith-Njigba, I think Deebo Samuel is a way better wide receiver than Jackson Smith-Njigba. Jackson Smith-Njigba, don't get me wrong, he is a phenomenal wide receiver, but he is not on no Deebo Samuel level. Deebo Samuel for the San Francisco 49ers is Mr. Do-It-All. He's a running back. He's a wide receiver. He is whatever the 49er and Kyle Shanahan's scheme needs him to be. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, he is too young. He has very, very high potential. Same thing for Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson is a high potential wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, but he is nowhere close to Deebo Samuel. And then for the LA Rams, Puka Nacua had an amazing rookie year for the LA Rams. He could stack up with Deebo Samuel. If we're talking pure wide receiver, Puka Nacua or Deebo Samuel, I will give the edge to Puka Nacua here and put Deebo Samuel at 2, just because Puka Nacua is probably the better pure wide receiver for the LA Rams. But again, Deebo Samuel does a lot of things a lot of these wide receivers can't do. The other 3 wide receivers cannot do. But for this video purpose, I will say Puka Nacua is the better wide receiver than Deebo Samuel at the moment. After that rookie year, that was a phenomenal rookie year by Puka Nacua. Deebo Samuel was actually very, very close to also being a 1,000-yard wide receiver with Brandon Aiyuk. But of course, those games he missed due to injuries really stopped that from happening. So the wide receiver 2 rankings are going to be wide receiver number 1 is Puka Nacua, wide receiver 2 is Deebo Samuel, wide receiver 3 is going to be Jackson Smith-Njigba, and then wide receiver 4 is Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson and Jackson Smith-Njigba both have very, very high potential that could be reached through the sky. Same thing for Puka Nacua, who is also very, very young. Now to end it off, the wide receiver 1s for each team. Wide receiver 1 for the Seattle Seahawks is DK Metcalf. Wide receiver 1 for the Arizona Cardinals is Ricky. Wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. Wide receiver 1 for the LA Rams is Cooper Kupp. Wide receiver 1 for the San Francisco 49ers is Brandon Aiyuk. Brandon Aiyuk compared to the rest, let's knock off the easy ones. Marvin Harrison Jr., even though I think he has a very high potential, he has a very high ceiling, the potential of Marvin Harrison Jr., because who his dad is very, very high, but I'm going to knock him off pretty early here. I think Brandon Aiyuk is the better wide receiver than Marvin Harrison Jr., but Marvin Harrison Jr. could be a very underrated wide receiver going into the 2024 season, but I believe Brandon Aiyuk is better than Marvin Harrison Jr. Cooper Kupp is also a very, very phenomenal wide receiver when he is healthy and on the field, but injury problems for Cooper Kupp has kept him from being a top wide receiver in the NFC West year after year. Cooper Kupp just finished a 737 receiving yard year with 5 receiving touchdowns after getting injured and not playing most of the season. Brandon Ayuk going into the 2024 season, I believe, is a way better wide receiver than Cooper Kupp. But when Cooper Kupp is healthy, he is a top 2 wide receiver in the NFC West. That leaves DK Metcalf and Brandon Ayuk. If we are going off pure wide receiver, I think it's Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is the better route runner than DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf has Brandon Ayuk in the 50-50 ball area, but I think Brandon Ayuk is also a very good 50-50 ball wide receiver. The 49ers just do not ask Brandon Ayuk to do that a lot because that is not the scheme at all. And going off the stats of last year, Brandon Ayuk is the better wide receiver than DK Metcalf, and Brandon Ayuk is doing it on less targets. So with that being said, I am giving the San Francisco 49ers the title of the best wide receiver core in the NFC West. The wide receiver 1 rankings are going to be Brandon Ayuk, DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Just because Marvin Harrison Jr. is just very, very young. He has not even played a snap in the NFL. Those are the wide receiver 1's rankings, and the San Francisco 49ers have won in the wide receiver 1 spots, the wide receiver 3 spots, and the LA Rams have won in the wide receiver 2 spot. The 49ers are the best wide receiver room in the whole NFC West. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.